We in this bitch. We in here. We in here, man. Shout out to everybody joining us off the late night, man. The YouTube underground, man. The only place where you can still find crime. The only place where we still talking about crime, man. The only place where we still talking about crime, man. What's cracking? Oh, crime. I thought crime was over. Press 1 if you thought crime was over, man. Press 1 if you thought everything was all good, man. Once the election changed, man. Once the election came, man, crime just magically ended, man. I don't see it nowhere, man. I'm looking at all my favorite channels, man. I don't see it, man. I thought crime was over, man. I thought we had conquered that. We crossed that bridge, man. Crime is officially over, man. We good, man. We good. We are officially good. But oh no, not so fast, man. Not so fast.
To make any sense for a dog to lay in nobody's yard for 8 days, you go to the mailbox, you gag it, you come outside, you get sick at the stomach.
A Whitehaven family says enough is enough after 2 dogs are found dead, their bodies still on the street days later. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Stephanie Skurlock.
And I'm Greg Hirsch. The smell inside of it all understandably disturbing for neighbors. One woman says this happened because the city of Memphis did not take its wild dog problem seriously. WRG's Bryant Didlake talked with that woman and has her cries for help.
I heard a shot, but I didn't see anything. And then after I left to go do my exercise, I saw this dog laying in my yard.
Dolly Massey says when she went to check on the dog lying at the edge of her yard last Monday on Graves Road, it appeared to have been shot. Since then, Massey says it hasn't been removed.
One time I started to go out there to move the dog, but I saw those maggots. No, I couldn't touch that dog.
Massey sent these pictures showing the multiple attempts to call various City of Memphis numbers, including 311, to remove the dead animal.
Then when I did get somebody on the phone, The lady said, well, I don't know when we're going to pick the dog up.
WREG contacted the city of Memphis. A spokesperson said
Niggas can't move a dead dog, and they talking about a race war. You niggas talking about a goddamn race war. Can't handle a dead dog. And who shot the damn dog, man? Hey, but I guess if you got constitutional carry and a wild dog problem, that would probably lead to a lot of shot dogs. Now that I think about it, constitutional carry and a wild dog problem. What a city, man. Shout out to Pamela Henderson, man. Wow. St. Patty's Day. Yeah. Conor McGregor gonna be the next president of Ireland, man. That's crazy. That is absolutely crazy. Conor McGregor is going to be the next president of Ireland. That is bananas. That is bananas. It's crazy, man. A dead dog, man. Times have changed, man. In my day, a whole bunch of dudes from the neighborhood would come get the old lady, the dead dog for the old lady, man. Miss So-and-so, you need somebody to move that dead dog for you?
It said, well, I don't know when we're going to pick the dog up.
WREG contacted the city of Memphis. A spokesperson says the issue is now being looked into, but Massey says wilder stray dogs have been an issue for quite some time. She says last year the problem was so bad she was injured.
Oh, you talking about these marks right here?
See that right here?
Oh, we see it. We see it.
I just went to the doctor last week to get some more shots.
But Massey's home is not the only property in this Whitehaven neighborhood facing issues with a dead animal.
We were about 50 feet away from another dog that was found here on Graves Road. We had to use our WREG news vehicle to block some of the view, but due to the sheer smell of this animal, the rotting flesh so strong that we had to put on a mask to cover up some of that smell. We did talk with neighbors who say that this is now all a health concern.
You call, nothing is going, so people's taking the law in their own hands. They're shooting the dogs.
The city of Memphis says they are looking to verify any reports of dogs being shot, but in the meantime, Massey says there is no excuse for no action.
You ain't got that many dogs laying around dead. I'm in out of this city all the time. I don't see no dogs in certain neighborhoods laying around like that. So y'all ain't that.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Did you hear it?
Meantime, Massey says there is no excuse for no action.
You ain't got that many dogs laying around dead. I'm in out of this city all the time. I don't see no dogs in certain neighborhoods laying around like that. So y'all ain't that busy.
In Whitehaven, Brian Ditlake, WREG. You should know.
Brian Ditlake. Wasn't he in Milwaukee or somewhere? He changed. I don't know. Yeah, man. You already know what it is, man.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining us for WREG News Channel 3 at 3. I'm Alex Coleman. We do appreciate you being here with us. We do have a lot to cover this afternoon, but first, topping our headlines today, a South Memphis shooting leaves one person dead overnight. WREG's Jarita Patterson has reaction from a bystander who says addressing one problem in the area could help to solve another.
Things are still in this South Memphis neighborhood. Even these rocking chairs are at a standstill. But around the corner, there's some action as neighbors are deeply involved in early morning porch talk, while others remain deeply disturbed by what happened overnight.
I heard a war zone.
Sunday evening, there was a shooting along Ratliff Lane at South Danny Thomas Boulevard, an area Maurice was visiting as it's where his grandchildren live.
My granddaughter was downstairs. I had to grab them, and one of them ran upstairs and just running to safety.
Sadly, a male victim may have also tried running for safety. Where you see this fence torn down is close to where torn pieces of crime scene tape mark the spot where the victim was pronounced dead. Squinting in the sunlight, Maurice returned to the area, wanting to see for himself the aftermath of what he could only hear the night before. Mr. Maurice telling us he wants answers, as this is a community his grandchildren call home. Police searching for answers as well concerning one of the city's latest deadly attacks. From March of last year to the present, police have been called within a half-mile radius of this recent attack 364 times for homicides, assaults, robberies, and weapons. That is just shy of one call per day. Maurice says he knows what's fueling the violence.
It's the dope out here. It's the drugs.
It's the dope out here. It's the drugs. It's the dope out here. It's the drugs. The dope spot.
Robberies and weapons. That is just shy of one call per day. Maurice says he knows what's fueling the violence.
It's the dope out here. It's the drugs.
Address the war on drugs, he says, and it could end what many heard overnight.
All you heard was just a war zone.
For your news leader, Jarita Patterson, WREG.
Only problem is that if you address the drugs, them niggas gonna call you racist, man. It's more drugs on Wall Street than it is over here, but y'all ain't over Wall Street frisking people, stopping people in the street. How come y'all ain't stopping people pulling over cars in the other side of town, on the other people's neighborhoods? And then even if they address the drugs, you still got to address the niggas. You still got to address the niggas.
Thanks for staying with us, 623. It has been 3 years and no answers and no justice for a Memphis mother who says her son was killed, and so far, no one has been held accountable. But she is certain someone knows something. That's this week's edition of Manhunt Monday.
I'll never be the same. I hurt every day, but I still got to get up and keep going because that was my son.
Demetria Ingram has a pain no medicine can cure. Memphis police say her only child, 19-year-old Jacoby Price, was killed February 5th, 2022.
The sheriff came to the house and said that my baby had been murdered.
It happened in the 3700 block of Carnes in East Memphis. Homicide investigators say Price had been shot multiple times.
I'm very angry. I'm upset.
Detectives say when the gunman shot Price, they also stole his 2014 Infiniti Q50. Ingram says she hasn't been given much information regarding her son's case, but she thinks she knows what happened.
I think it was a setup. I think it was set up. I think they robbed him and took his car.
Ingram says the grief and pain don't get any easier.
I wouldn't want you to go through, nobody to go through what I'm going through. Every day I hurt, but I still got to get up and go on with my life.
Ingram says her son left behind a daughter that will never get a chance to know her father, a life cut short due to a senseless act of violence. Ingram has a message for her son's killer.
I just want young people to think about what they're doing. You know, you got a mom or you got loved ones or a father, you know, just stop doing all this killing, all this madness. It's making no sense.
If you know who killed Jacoby Price, you're urged to call Crime Stoppers at 901-528-CASH. Your tip could help put a dangerous killer in jail and $10,000 cash in your pocket. Remember, all calls are confidential.
If you have a story you would like...
Man, what a crazy ass city, man. I tell you, man. Make sure you support the channel via PayPal, Cash App, or Super Chat. Take the challenge, man. Take the challenge. Support tonight's program. Also, hit the like button. Hit the like button, man.
Came to fruition after the chaos that unfolded following the ouster of former Superintendent Dr. Marie Fagans earlier this year. Our WREG Shay Arthur is live at Mississippi Boulevard Christian Church, where many had a lot to say against this bill. Shay, why are they against it?
Hey, Stephanie. Hey, Greg. Yeah, well, essentially they're saying this all comes down to money and about power. We heard from a whole lot of people on this issue today. And really, we've been reporting on this extensively. So many elected officials that we've heard from over the last few weeks have been pretty divided when it came to Dr. Fagans' firing several months ago. But today, those we heard from say they're united, that Nashville does not know what's best for Memphis. Dozens gathering with a message.
Save our schools. Save our schools.
Clergy members speaking, acknowledging recent actions involving the Memphis-Shelby County School Board and the firing of former Superintendent Dr. Marie Fagans wasn't pretty to watch, but a state takeover isn't the right.
Save y'all schools, man. Y'all schools suck, man. Y'all can't I wonder they got a Memphis debate team, man. Save y'all schools for what? We fired the sister. That was the best thing we could have done, firing the sister that was in charge of the schools.
Right move.
Now, admittedly, we may need a makeover, but we do not need a takeover.
I don't believe for 1 minute that Republicans in Middle and East Tennessee care anything about our children. That's right. You're not going to convince me that.
Yeah, but nigga, you don't care nothing about the children. Look at the test scores. I bet you those damn Republicans in Middle of Tennessee care more about them kids than y'all do. Let's look at the test scores where them Republicans are and look at the test scores where you niggas are. Why not give them a chance? Why not give the Republicans a chance? You niggas been running the schools forever and the kids can't fucking read.
That they care. Now, what I believe they care about is a $2.1 billion annual budget.
Board member Tawana Murphy voted to fire Fagans. She says she doesn't see how there could be some kind of compromise with the state when it comes to the bill.
We ain't gonna be no compromise.
We were well within our rights, and we did our jobs, and we followed the rules, we followed the policies, and we were in our rights to do what we had to do.
Hours before this rally, another group made up of board members, concerned citizens, and leaders gathered at MSCS HQ, also against the bill, acknowledging families are upset, and they too want action, but said this would give the state unprecedented power.
This is about control. So we're all standing here united, saying that we want a path forward. We understand that you all want to see change, but this is not the answer.
I want to emphasize that we don't need any more rash, knee-jerk decisions regarding Memphis Shelby County Schools. I think that is partly the reason of how we got where we are today, of acting and moving too quickly.
Okay, so looking ahead, that bill is expected to be introduced tomorrow. A bus is headed to Nashville. The group Save Our Students, Save Our Schools is inviting the public to come. The address you should see here on your screen. They want you to be there at 5 o'clock in the morning. Breakfast will be provided. We've also included this information on our website. Just click on the story.
Ugh. Shit. Jesus Christ. You niggas a handful, man. Governing you niggas is a handful, man.
But first, our big story tonight at 9. You could call it a family affair. A Milwaukee mother and her teenage sons are charged in connection to a series of armed robberies.
Investigators say the boys were part of a crew that terrorized the east side in River West last summer. Here's some video. Fox 6's Ashley Sears live in the newsroom. And Ash, you got some new information about how they were eventually caught.
Yeah, prosecutors say the teen boys ran that targeted women and...
They targeted who? The mother and her two boys targeted who?
Here's live in the newsroom. And Ash, you got some new information about how they were eventually caught.
Yeah, prosecutors say the teen boys ran that targeted women and couples, holding them up at gunpoint, sometimes beating them and stealing from them.
These are a number of felony level, high level counts.
A Milwaukee teen sits in court accused of serious crimes months after they were committed.
There are also allegations of violence.
15-year-old Darion Bearden has been charged with 24 felonies related to a series of...
Think about how measured white people got to be. She said, listen to the white woman, the judge, and listen to what this fucking ape did.
These are a number of felony level, high level counts.
A Milwaukee teen sits in court accused of serious crimes months after they were committed.
There are also allegations of violence.
15-year-old Darion Bearden has been charged with 24 felonies related to a series of armed robberies over the summer on the east side and in River West.
It was a pretty disorienting situation.
In early August, police say Darion was part of a crew that attacked 2 people in front of Cafe Corazon on Bremen, hitting one man with a gun and stealing a purse. A restaurant manager...
Cafe Corazon, man. I bet they thought they could go there and avoid niggas. Where you want to go tonight? Let's go to Cafe Corazon, man. Niggas, it don't be no niggas over there. This is a nightmare.
In early August, police say Darion was part of a crew that attacked 2 people in front of Cafe Corazon on Bremen, hitting one man with a gun and stealing a purse. A restaurant manager helped the victims shortly after.
I could see the blood on his face and it was swollen.
Investigators say Darion's older brother, 18-year-old Kamarion, was previously part of the same crew, but arrested weeks earlier. A criminal complaint explains their mother, Reba, called Kamarion while he was in jail and explained she saw his friends on Fox 6 News committing the Cafe Corazon crime, going on to say the teen's brothers had $5,000 to $10,000 to use to bail him out, saying, "I've been up all night with them, and these boys working. I'm proud of them." Police...
Damn, KRS-One. Miss KRS-One, you're a terrible mom, man. You part of the problem. Mama KRS.
Police say she was talking about the crimes they'd been committing. In late August, police pulled Reba over with Darion and another brother in the back seat. Investigators say Darion had a gun, bullets, and cash on him and found several stolen credit cards. Prosecutors in adult court.
I know it's high bail, but I think it's appropriate.
The court commissioner set his bail at $50,000. His mother was charged with harboring a felon and aiding back in January.
$50,000 is a high bail?
His older brother is also in jail, charged with armed robbery. Live in the newsroom.
Tonight, a Milwaukee bar owner says he's calling it quits after someone shot and killed a mother of four near his business on Sunday. Our Durante Matthews shows us a history of police activity at that bar going back years.
If you walk up to Bar 107 on Milwaukee's northwest side, it's locked doors and lights out. That's a normal sight during the day, but the owner says it'll look like this from now on. On Monday, Alpesh Patel told Fox 6 over the phone he's not reopening. Patel says he made the decision after a shoot.
Patel, of course, a Patel owns the business in the black community. Goddamn Patel. They ran the Patel out of business, man. You fucking son turds, man. Jesus Christ, man. Shout out to Beast Life 50, man. He say teens. Yeah, man. Just teens, man. Teenagers, man. Shout out to Ray Wall, man. Ray Wall in the building. Just teens, man. That's all it is, man. You know how teenagers are, of all races are. Teenagers of all walks of life do, you know, just kill people and rob people, man. It's part of being a teenager. This Patel came to America, man, for a better life, man. Opened up a bar, man. Now he got to go open up a gas station, man, to get away from niggas. That's the trick. Hey, Mr. Patel, go open up a gas station, man, with a food mart at it, with a quickie mart at the gas station. That'll keep niggas away. Press 1.
And lights out. That's a normal sight during the day, but the owner says it'll look like this from now on. On Monday, Alpesh Patel told Fox 6 over the phone he's not reopening. Patel says he made the decision after a shooting early Sunday morning that killed a mother of four. He wouldn't go on camera, but told us there was a fight inside the bar. Family members told us Sunday that 33-year-old Bernicia Butcher was trying to leave. They say someone shot and killed her across the street.
I just miss my little cousin. She didn't deserve it. Not at all.
That's not acceptable.
9th District Alderwoman Larissa Taylor says neighbors tell her there's a bigger picture issue.
They're very upset. This is not what the residents want to see in our district.
There's a bigger picture, y'all. It's deep, man. Come on, sister, lay it out for us. What's the bigger picture?
In a press release, she said Bar 107, quote, has repeatedly failed to meet security expectations. She announced,
"Oh, it's the Patel's fault. It's the Patel's fault that niggas keep killing people in and around his establishment." You know what? I'm shocked by that, man. I'm shocked that that's the that those are the findings that these niggas came to, man. I'm shocked, man. I never would have thought that these black people would have figured that it was the Patel's fault. Niggas are killing each other near his establishment, man. And you look at her, man, she looked like such a nice person. No way she would think that it was the Patel's fault, man.
In our district.
In a press release, she said Bar 107, quote, has repeatedly failed to meet security expectations. She announced further investigation to determine the best course of action. Within a couple of hours, the bar owner told us he's surrendering his license.
This is the most and the worst that I've heard complaints about.
Public records show this isn't the first time Bar 107 has been in the hot seat. City records going back to 2016 show multiple warning letters when renewing its license. The warnings detail police activity responding to fights, battery, and shootings, including one in the parking lot in 2022 that killed a man. The bar owner says he wants to help keep the public and his employees safe.
We want businesses to thrive in our district, but we want them to be able to contribute positively to what District 9 has to offer.
Durante Matthews, Fox 6 News.
Police say they've arrested a 30-year-old woman in connection to Sunday's fatal shooting. They are still looking for someone else. If you have any information.
A Milwaukee mother shot to death in a bar parking lot. Her family says she was an innocent bystander. It happened early Sunday morning outside Bar 107 near 107th and Granville on the city's northwest side. 20 News' Nick Bohr is there live tonight. Nick, someone shot both her and her sister.
And her family says that she was simply in the wrong place at the wrong time here at this bar with her sister. She said, they tell us that she came outside of the bar and got into the car when they were both shot right outside here. Scene video shows a smashed vehicle, its airbags deployed outside Bar 107 early Sunday morning at 107th and Granville Road. 33-year-old Bernicia Bree Butcher was killed by the gunfire in the parking lot. Her 30-year-old sister, also in the car, was also shot but survived. They both just left Bar 107 and drove off after the shooting, but crashed across the street. Butcher was the mother of 4 kids, ranging in age from 2 to 17.
My deepest condolences goes out to them for the loss that they've suffered as a result of this.
Milwaukee Alderwoman Larissa Taylor says she began getting calls from constituents almost immediately.
I do intend to sit down and have a conversation with our police department to see what we can do further.
A search of city records indicates the bar's tavern license was suspended by the Common Council for 30 days in 2022 following a shooting, and warning letters were issued after incidents in 2018, 2019. 2020, 2021, and 2023.
When you create a pattern of not taking care of and not practicing safety or giving the highest standard of service to our community, that is definitely a problem.
12 News has learned residents also filed a complaint with the city after a shooting as recently as December. A few months later, tragedy struck with Bree Butcher's fatal shooting. So when something like this happens, it could possibly jeopardize their licensing?
Well, it definitely comes into question.
And Nick, you spoke with Butcher's fiance this afternoon.
Right. He was very distraught. He wasn't ready for an interview at this point, but he did say that his fiance was a wonderful mother who just started a daycare business. And that was just last year. And he said that she and her sister had nothing to do with the violence that sparked inside the bar here and spilled over outside into the parking lot. Milwaukee police telling us they do have a 30-year-old woman in custody in connection with the shooting here and are still searching for a known suspect, they say. I also reached out to the owner of the bar today, but got no response.
Definitely heartbreaking for that family. Nick Bohr reporting live in Milwaukee.
The recent killing of a Milwaukee transgender woman has LGBT.
Bria in the building, man. Bria made it to the desk, man. Bria said, fuck that shit. I done lost all this weight. I ain't got that blubber I used to have, man. Y'all better let me sit down in the building. It's cold out here in Milwaukee, man. I'm too cute to be outside, man. Shout out to Bria, man. She done made it from Memphis to Milwaukee to now she at the desk. She say send a little skinny white girl out there to do all the hard work and shit. I'm sitting here in the room in the temperature controlled environment of the studio. They got all type of snacks and shit in there too. You know they got a break room. You know the break room, they got little croissants and shit and pastries and shit in there and coffee. I ain't gonna be running Bria ragged no more, having her over here, this side of town, the south side, the north side, the east side, the west side. Fuck all that. Bria's sitting down, man. She in the studio. I'm proud of Bria, man. Press 1 if you proud of Bria, man. I'm proud of Bria, man. Bria done came a long motherfucking way, man.
The recent killing of a Milwaukee transgender woman has LGBTQ advocates frustrated and on a mission for change. Our Durante Matthews attended a vigil and now is live in the newsroom.
Yeah, Rhea, police say 23-year-old Amari Dior was shot and killed 2 weeks ago near 95th and Brown Deer. While that investigation is ongoing, advocates say they hope the violence against the trans community comes to an end. Balloons, music, and mourners, sights and sounds that have become all too familiar for Mercedes Johnson.
This is my favorite visual, and it don't get easier. Visual, and my favorite visual, and this is my favorite visual, and it don't get easier. This is my favorite visual, and it don't get easier. This is my favorite visual, and it don't get easier every time.
She says it's her 7th vigil in the past 7 years. Johnson says that's 7 too many.
It really touched me personally because I have to live my life every day as a Black trans person.
Saturday's vigil is for 23-year-old Amari Dior. Johnson, with Milwaukee Black Pride Coalition, helped coordinate the service. Police say someone shot and killed Dior early February 21st near 95th and Brown Deer. Dior's heartbroken family spoke with Fox.
Damn, that's a rough look. Jesus Christ, man. Could you imagine these two out on the town? God damn.
With Fox 6 2 days later.
No matter who she came in contact with, she was always a good soul. I just don't understand why.
Dior's family didn't want to speak Saturday, but activists say her death is another in a list of transgender women killed in recent years.
We're tired of having to go out and fight for our lives every day.
Shit, man. Why are you doing this to me, man? I'm trying to cover the news, man. Y'all doing this to me, man. Stop it, man. Shout out to Andy Armour, man. Andy Armour in the building, man. Said pledge, man. You take the pledge, man. Take the pledge. Support the channel. I don't know, man. Let's do a let's do a poll, y'all. Pause. Trans 1, trans 2, or trans 3, man. Gun to your head, man. Gun to your head, man. Beauty contest, man. You gotta judge the beauty contest, man. You gotta judge the beauty contest, man. We putting a gun to your head. She's a queen to me. Who you voting for, man? Gun to your head, man. 3. That's this trans 1. This trans 2. And this trans 3, man. Who you voting for, man? I don't see no ballots being cast, man. We not moving on, man. We not moving on because I'm tired of this transphobia, man. I'm tired of all this transphobia, man. I won't stand for it, man, on my channel. God, yikes, man. Damn. It's tough, man. Lord have mercy. Jesus Christ. Lord have mercy, man. Jesus Christ. They say blondes have more fun. Y'all done fucked that up, man. The whole blondes have more fun thing. This nigga done ruined it, man. Y'all ruined every damn thing. These type of blondes don't be having no fun. Fuck, man. Jesus Christ, man. It's nappy-headed hoe. Oh, nappy-headed hoe. I'm gonna have to go with the first one, man. Pause. Respectfully, man. Respectfully, man. This one win the beauty contest, man. You queen trans, man. The Ock Nation queen, the Ock Nation trans beauty contest for 2025, man. You win, man. God, no, man. You win, man. Yeah, by default, man.
And says that's 7 too many.
It really touched me personally because I have to live my life every day as a Black trans person.
Saturday's vigil is for 23-year-old Amari Dior. Johnson with Milwaukee Black Pride Coalition helped coordinate the service. Police say someone shot and killed Dior early February 21st near 95th and Brown Deer. Dior's heartbroken family spoke with Fox 6 2 days later.
No matter who she came in contact with, she was always a good soul. I just don't understand why.
Dior's family didn't want to speak Saturday, but activists say her death is another in a list of transgender women killed in recent years.
We're tired of having to go out and fight for our lives every day.
Sunshine Rainbow says the goal is not only to seek justice for Dior, but also change for the trans community.
We just want the system to benefit us.
Johnson says they want lawmakers to take more action when it comes to transgender violence.
Such as being harassed when it comes to restraining orders, to protection orders, that those laws be more in effect.
She says they're going to push harder in Dior's honor, along with this message.
People that hate us cannot erase us. We will always exist.
And Dior's loved ones say as of today, they have not heard about anyone getting arrested in this case. And we have reached out to police earlier today for an update, and we have not heard back as of this time. Reporting live in the news.
Oh, my God. Ay, 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 ay. Whew.
Police are investigating the shooting death of a 13-year-old boy in Lawndale. There was no 911 call made. The alderman's now telling Arturo Molina that ShotSpotter technology that the city removed last year would have helped in this case.
The alderman here confirms ShotSpotter technology was in place in this neighborhood where the boy was found before.
But their dumbass mayor deemed ShotSpotter technology to be racist. because it always goes off in black neighborhoods. It never pings in the white side of town. It only pings in the black side of town. So it's racist.
Before it went offline. She says she believes police and first responders could have found him sooner if that technology was still in place. And she's not alone. You're looking at the scene in Lawndale early Monday morning where Chicago police found an unresponsive teenage boy while on patrol. After the 24th Ward alderman says his mom reported him missing and no one called 911 to report the shooting.
We had ShotSpotter or some kind of tool, we could have known where to find this kid, and he was just left in a backyard for we don't know how long.
It's why she's continuing her call for the city to reinstate gunshot detection technology.
I'm not saying that this young boy would have been saved, but we would have known where he was sooner.
Telling me she plans to call for others in city council to join her. Alderman Raymond Lopez says he already has.
We can't keep doing this. We can't keep pretending as though everything's all right when we know it's not. And if anything comes out of this tragedy, it is that this should be the last time we have someone killed because no one called 911.
Telling me the majority of Chicago aldermen agree. You may remember, City Council voted in favor of an ordinance overturning the mayor's decision to remove the technology last year, 33-14.
The mayor just decided that that was not a law that he needed to follow. And he decided to turn the technology off in spite of what City Council did.
That's when we told you, after months of debate in City Hall, Chicago's ShotSpotter technology went offline in September. Since it was first tested in 2017, taxpayers spent roughly $50 million on the system. Despite its high price tag, it was criticized for failing to result in a large number of arrests, prosecutions, or evidence of a crime. Some of the reasons Mayor Brandon Johnson campaigned on removing it. Chicago police are still investigating. I'm told no one is in custody. Reporting in the Lawndale neighborhood, I'm Tara Molina.
And Tara Molina getting long in the tooth, man.
A security guard at a West Suburban nightclub is now charged in the death of a 21-year-old woman who was shot and killed earlier this month.
Asal Razai has learned he should not have even been working at the club that night.
Joe Erica, not only was he not licensed to work as a security guard, but he was not licensed to carry a gun. He's now facing 2 charges, including involuntary manslaughter and aggravated unlawful use of a weapon. This video shows the moment a single gunshot rang out inside Mansion Live nightclub in Stone Park last Saturday, March 8th. That single gunshot took the life of 21-year-old Zulma Pacheco. 35-year-old Kevin Henley Jr. is now charged in her death.
Even if we sue or get money from it, she's not going to come back.
Stone Park police say the security guard was taken into custody a few hours after the shooting and then released after the Cook County State's Attorney's Office reviewed the evidence in this case. Now, 8 days later, police say he's been arrested and charged with 1 count of involuntary manslaughter and 1 count of aggravated unlawful use of a weapon. The accused shooter, Kevin Henley Jr., is set to appear here in bond court tomorrow morning. We did reach out to the club owners to see if they ran a background check on the security guard or if he was permitted to carry a gun inside the nightclub. We're still waiting for those answers. Reporting from the Maywood Courthouse, I'm Asal Razai, CBS News Chicago.
After years of uncertainty, the family of Angela Burris is finally getting some answers tonight.
She was reported missing back in April of 2021. And tonight, police are discussing new evidence that has finally led investigators to her remains.
Yeah, the family speaking first with WCNC Charlotte's Tanisha Woodard about the long-awaited closure they've been searching for.
I spoke with Angela's daughter, who says after 4 years with no answers, a phone call changed everything, giving them the heartbreaking truth they feared, but the closure they desperately needed.
No, I never thought it was going to take this long.
Sometimes the unknown offers the most comfort.
I kind of knew that something like this may happen. I was just hoping it wouldn't.
After nearly 4 years of uncertainty, Katera Burris finally getting answers, the kind of answers that makes the soul feel stuck.
I was sad. I was also angry, and I was just numb.
Katera's years-long search for her mom, Angela Burris, over. Her lifetime walk with grief just beginning.
I just really haven't had time to process anything.
Angela went missing back in April of 2021. The Kings Mountain Police Department confirming human remains discovered in Gastonia in 2022. Officials say the investigation into her disappearance took a major turn in September of 2024 when authorities identified distinctive features on the remains, later matching them to Angela through DNA analysis.
Her story isn't finished. There's some things that I need to know about, like, how did she get there?
Her only child now feeling like she's walking through a world that's lost its color. Only shades of gray, a reminder of the pain she's now forced to carry.
There's still big things that are missing from me that I may never get. She was the glue to everybody keeping together. She was the soul of our family.
As they prepare a ceremony in Angela's honor, Katera says she's encouraging everyone to hug their loved ones tight. You never know when it'll be your last chance.
Just be there for your family and your friends.
Now, officials say there's no signs of foul play at this time, but they're still asking anyone with additional information about Angela's case to come forward. Back.
And a grandfather killed while trying to get his grandchildren McDonald's Happy Meals. The shooting happened in West Harris County at West Little York and North Fry Road.
Investigators say 2 separate groups got into a fight Sunday, then started shooting at one another when the grandfather was shot. KPRC2's Rowan Blogan is live from that McDonald's with a message the man's wife has for those shooters. Rowan.
Yeah, Keith, Danielle, a really unfortunate scene unfolding here. Detectives spent a lot of hours out here today, some of them with a canine officer to the left of us here in a field looking for any sort of evidence. Others went back inside to the McDonald's here trying to gather more information. As you can see, the window here boarded up following that shooting.
She's crying and crying and crying, and she want to see her grandpa. She's asking, say, I want to see him.
The grandchild of 61-year-old Jorge Arbaiza calling out for him after investigators say he was caught in the crossfires of a shootout inside this West Harris County McDonald's. Jorge's wife, Teresa, in the parking lot with 2 of their grandchildren when she saw people running out except for her husband. Then she called him.
I called him because I saw people running out and then I didn't see him come out. So I called him and he answered and he said,
That's so fucking sad, man. I wonder who was shooting, man.
Then I didn't see him come out. So I called him and he answered and he said he was dying. That's the only thing he was able to tell me. I wasn't able to see him. I couldn't even go inside to see him.
His last words to his wife, I'm dying. Teresa and her sister say Jorge doted over his grandchildren, giving them the world.
He was the best grandfather to his 3 grandchildren. He would give everything the kids wanted. He had everything the kids needed at his house.
Harris County Sheriff's Office say 2 separate groups of young people got into a fight when at least one person from each group pulled out guns.
It seems like, that there is there's no hesitation to pull the trigger.
Another person hit is stable at the hospital. He's believed to have been involved in the altercation. Instead of preparing to celebrate their 40 years of marriage, Teresa planning her husband's funeral. Her message to the shooters.
They don't have a heart. If they have beef between them, please don't resolve it with gun violence when there are innocent people around.
Now, investigators tell us that they did come across a vehicle they believe may have been used by those people involved in this altercation, but as of now, no one is in custody. Live in West Harris County, Roman Blogan, KPRC 2 News.
Roman, thank you.
Wow. 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 Unbelievable, man. So sad, man. Fuck. A lot of crime still going on. It doesn't look like crime been going down that much, man. They say crime was going down before the election, huh? I don't know, man. Make sure you take the $10 challenge, man. Take the challenge, man. Support tonight's program, man. Let's get into these shootouts, man. We got a couple of shootouts. Wow, shootouts, man. I want to cover, man. Let me just cover this stabbing right quick.
Well, a woman is dead and a suspect arrested across state lines following a fatal stabbing.
Yeah, the stabbing actually happened at the Baymont Hotel just off of I-95 in Smithfield. Johnston County is waiting for that suspect to be extradited back to North Carolina. CBS 17's Harrison Grubb has been following this breaking news story for us all day.
Shock resonates for guests staying at the Baymont Hotel in Smithfield.
We thought that, in the busy area and broad daylight, no one would really do anything like that.
This guest, who wished to remain anonymous, said he was just checking in when police swarmed the area.
We basically just saw a guy come out, go to the car, and then the front desk lady started crying because she saw a lot of blood.
First responders rushed the area just after 12:30 Monday afternoon for a reported stabbing. Dispatch calls capture the moments officers began arriving.
53 Central, advise EMS. It's going to be a stab wound to the neck.
The woman, who police haven't identified, died on the scene. The guest we spoke with says he tried to help police track down the suspect's car.
We ran just right across on the parking lot to take a picture of the vehicle.
When I spoke with the Smithfield police chief on scene, he told me they were fairly confident they knew who the suspect was. Hours later, 49-year-old Eric Jonathan Nelson was apprehended in Virginia. Police say they were able to quickly identify his vehicle, putting out the information to law enforcement agencies across the area. With the hotel located just off of I-95, Nelson could have easily gotten out of the area and followed the highway north into Virginia before being taken into custody. As this investigation continues, we'll keep you updated about any information both on air and online at CBS17.com. In Smithfield, Harrison Grubb, CBS.
New at 5:30, a suspect is among the 5 people wounded after an argument led to a shootout on the south side on Friday.
It happened in Chicago's Back of the Yards neighborhood. WGN's Courtney Spinelli is live at Public Safety Headquarters with the story. Courtney.
Jackie and Taman, police say the 2 suspects who opened fire first appeared to be in the store together. At least one of them now in custody after she showed up at the hospital with multiple gunshot wounds.
Sadly, this is a recurring theme in many of our communities, but most of all in Back of the Yards, where individuals, many of whom have weapons illegally, are using them even in the most mundane or idiotic arguments.
Holes from gunfire in the front of this liquor store where a shootout happened Friday night near 51st and Damon. Police say it was just before 10:30 when an argument inside Goldmore Food and Liquors escalated. The store just feet from Alderman Ray Lopez's ward.
It's not an excuse to start pulling out guns like we're in the old West. And sadly, we see this story repeat itself time and time again.
According to Chicago police, a 22-year-old woman pulled out a gun and opened fire. A male suspect with her allegedly grabbed the gun and fired more shots at the victims. One of the victims, police say, returned fire. Suspects took off, but the woman didn't make it far.
Looks like we're getting another person shot, you guys, at the Rush Hospital. That's the other female walk-in victim. She walked in a rush.
Police say that woman was the suspect that self-transported to the hospital. A 61-year-old woman suffered a graze wound and refused treatment, while 3 other victims, men ranging from 22 to 48 years old, were also taken to area hospitals by the Chicago Fire Department. 2 of those victims reportedly in critical condition.
Wow. Mass shooting, man. In a liquor store, he said over some stupid shit. He said it was He said it was over some stupid shit, idiotic shit.
Condition. Residents say they're disappointed to see this, many hearing about it in the aftermath.
It's just a perpetual problem. No real solutions apparently are being created.
According to staff at the store, several employees were working.
Hey, that's white. If it's a perpetual problem, how can any solutions be created? It's a perpetual problem. There's no solution. As long as you have blankety blanks, you're going to have this issue, man. As long as you have blankers, you're going to have this issue.
See this, many hearing about it in the aftermath.
It's just a perpetual problem. No real solutions apparently are being created.
According to staff at the store, several employees were working and say the fight started out of nowhere. They tried to get everyone to calm down, but as soon as they saw a gun, they allegedly ran to the back and called 911. They say the shots were fired both inside and outside the store.
You know, I don't walk around or ride my bike late at night around here. There's times where it's just too dangerous to be riding around and walking around by yourself.
No neighborhood should have to make this a normal part of their routine. No neighborhood should say, I can't go out at night because it's dark, or I can't walk to the corner store to get a case of beer or grab.
What's the point of saying nobody should have to do that when, like, literally every neighborhood in that city you have to do that where sun turds up? What's the point of just saying no neighborhood? No one should have to.
Grab a taco because I might get shot and killed just for making that walk.
Now, area businesses tell us that detectives were back out there this morning canvassing and looking for any surveillance video that people may have. We're also told by Chicago police that no guns were recovered at the scene. Now, it's not clear whether that second person that was with the woman in custody has been identified, but all we know tonight is that she was the only one in custody as of this morning. Anyone with information should call Area 1 detectives. Live outside Public Safety Headquarters, Courtney Spinelli, WGN News.
It's been nearly 4 years since a Brooklyn mother was shot and killed in Crown Heights. News 12's Julia Burns spoke exclusively with her mother, who says justice for her daughter has been delayed.
A warning to the viewer at home, the following surveillance video may be disturbing. This video on August 4th of 2021 in Crown Heights shows a woman get out of her car and point a gun at 42-year-old Delia Johnson before shooting and killing her. A night that changed Johnson's mother's life forever.
I had like a little disturbing dream that woke me up. My daughter fell down on her knees. I'm like, well, what's going on? What's wrong? I'm smiling. And when she told me, I went into shock.
The accused killer is Claudia Banton, who was arrested in November of 2021 and now faces a murder charge. Barry tells me she knew Banton prior to the shooting.
When this child had issues, I did the best I could to parent this particular child.
Despite the incident happening back in 2021, Barry tells me multiple court postponings have delayed the process, but also her peace.
I get up in the middle of the night, walking back and forth in the house. I'm crying, and it's done a lot of damage. A lot of damage.
Johnson is survived by her daughter. Banton is expected in court tomorrow. In Crown Heights, Julia Burns, News 12 Brooklyn.
All right, Spencer, thank you. Just into the newsroom, a man has been arrested in connection with the shooting death of a woman in Southeast Portland. The shooting happened at about 12:30 this morning along Southeast Harrison Street near 140th. When officers arrived, they say they found a woman dead. Her identity is not being released at this time. Portland police say they arrested 35-year-old Joshua Thielbar on charges including second-degree murder and unlawful use of a firearm. Investigators have not released any further details about the
Yeah, man, that's crazy. That Chicago Mass shooting, man. I want to see if we can find out more about that, man. R.I.P. to Gene Hackman, man.
Along this South Side corridor used to sit Happy Liquor and Foods, a store that people who live here say attracted the wrong kind of business.
It's too much. People standing outside, it's just real dangerous. So I just keep walking straight. There's too much happening.
Jessica Crowder says she catches the bus at a different stop just to avoid walking through the intersection of 79th Street and South Cottage Grove Avenue. Last May, police say 3 men were shot near the sidewalk. One of them was killed.
Gangs standing in front of their door, literally their very door, selling drugs to the community. And when you have somebody that stakes out in front of your door, it brings all that negative traffic.
Eventually, the business was shuttered, the building up for sale. And that's when New Life Covenant Southeast and Pastor John Hanna entered the equation, purchasing the property.
We knew that there's so much potential in this community. We knew that there are people who want to see change in this community. So we're not going to let the negative smother the positive.
Pastor Hanna says he views this transformation as an assignment from God to change this corner from one of violence to one of health and prosperity.
We shouldn't have to drive downtown or north to sit and enjoy the pleasures of life. You should be able to sit and enjoy these things in your community.
Pastor Hanna says he hopes to bring a grocery store, a medical facility featuring dental and counseling services, and even leave space for local small businesses.
We do a prayer down 79th Street every year. We've been walking past this store for 15 years. 15 years. And so finally, we don't have to walk past it. We could put a flag in the ground.
Less than a mile away from the intersection of 79th and Cottage Grove sits New Life Covenant Southeast, and outside the church, the larger-than-life figures of this piece of artwork, dubbed the movement, symbolizing of the change underway in this neighborhood.
Pastor gonna buy this liquor store. All right. All right, let's see. Let's see how that works out. Let's see how that works out. Let's see how that works out. Jeez. It's hard as D, man. Oh. So sad, man. I mean, just can't get a handle on this problem. This gun violence problem in these certain areas, man. Just can't get a handle on it, man. Some of these areas are just cursed, man. That's what it is. It's the area. St. Patty's Day coming up. Oh, what a joyous time.
And this was scary.
How come these people didn't run? Remember the rapper? They were like, yo, how come he didn't run towards his daughter to help his daughter when the bullets started flying? Because that's not what people do.
And this was scary and wild. A shootout in the middle of the day, a 10-year-old child caught in the middle of it, and now we know how it started. Memphis police say they were trying to rob somebody for a pair of shoes. This happened a week ago.
They were trying to rob somebody for a pair of shoes. They were trying to rob somebody for a pair of shoes. My God.
In the middle of the day, a 10-year-old child caught in the middle of it, and now we know how it started. Memphis police say they were trying to rob somebody for a pair of shoes. This happened a week ago, March 7th, on Yale Road between Raleigh and Bartlett. Memphis police.
The white boy hanging with the niggas, man. He out here. He with the shits. White boy with it, man.
Police say there was a group of 5 young people, one of them only 10, trying to steal shoes from somebody outside a convenience store. Well, the person ran inside the store, and that's when somebody in that car sitting across the lot, look at it. See the gun poke out?
Yeah.
Opening fire on those kids. Well, they have a gun too, and they shoot back. It doesn't appear anybody was hit. But later, the person, it appears to be a child, whose shoes they were trying to steal, they came up on him, and he runs for help.
I mean, what do you do, man, as a police department? Okay, you do all the work, and then the fucking judge gives these little fucking niggers 3 months in juvie or some shit. You do all the work, you look at all the footage, and you collect all the shells, and you interview a bunch of people, and you make the arrest, and some fucking woke judge gives these little fucking moon crickets probation and shit.
And this was scary and wild. A shootout in the middle of the day, a 10-year-old child caught in the middle of it, and now we know how it started. Memphis police say they were trying to rob somebody for a pair of shoes. This happened a week ago, March 7th, on Yale Road between Raleigh and Bartlett. Memphis police say there was a group of 5 young people, one of them only 10, trying to steal shoes from somebody outside a convenience store. Well, the person ran inside the store, and that's when somebody in that car sitting across the lot, look at it. See the gun poke out?
Yeah.
Opening fire on those kids. Well, they have a gun too, and they shoot back. It doesn't appear anybody was hit. But later, the person, it appears to be a child, whose shoes they were trying to steal, they came up on him, and he runs for help.
Hey, let me in.
Right? So the homeowner did let him in and called police. Memphis police were asking anyone with information on those 5 young kids, including...
They gonna call him a snitch. Around the way, they're gonna be like, he a snitch, man. He talking to the police, man. Especially if the dudes get caught. That young boy gonna be in hot water with the people in his community, man. Man, I heard you be talking to the police, man. I ain't say nothing. I just the man who let me in his house called the police. I told him I was just trying to get away from them. You know what I'm saying? Nah, man. Them niggas got locked up. They said you talk to the police, man. You're not welcome around here anymore. 10-year-old.
On those 5 young kids, including the 10-year-old, to call Crime Stoppers at 528-CASH.
Well,
What a fucked up place, man. You niggas are animals, man. You niggas are Animals.
A crime alert in the news at 4:30. Your news leader obtaining shocking video of young people in a shootout during the middle of the day outside a Raleigh convenience store.
All of this going on a
Raleigh is a neighborhood in Memphis, so you don't be confused with Raleigh, North Carolina. Support the channel via PayPal, Cash App, or the Super Chat. Can we get some people to take this pledge? Can we get some people to support the show on a good old Tuesday? Shout out to Deluxe 247, aka Cal Rookin, aka the real MVP, coming through once again. Shout out to you, man. We get some people to support the show on a good old Tuesday. Y'all ain't know all this crime was still happening. Nobody covers crime anymore, man. Nobody covers crime anymore. I be looking for it, man. I ain't gonna lie, man. I be looking for it, man. I be like, yo, man, where all the crime channels go, man? Or is it just me? Is it just me? Is it just me? I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it's just me, man. I be like, damn, where all the crime channels go, man? Nobody talking about the crime that's raging in Blakistan, man. Mm. He said, shout out to my man, Hidden for Time, man. Hidden for Time. They got a globe inside of a box. You want some metaphysical shit, man. That's right, man. The earth is flat. I'll tell you that much. Shout out to Tardigrade Hatchley. Tardigrade Hatchley. Oh, yeah, those things. I seen them little things, little amoebas, little bacteria things. Yeah, them things is amazing, man. So much going on in a drop of dirty water, man. A drop of pond water, man, is a whole goddamn ecosystem, man.
At 4:30, your news leader obtaining shocking video of young people in a shootout during the middle of the day outside a Raleigh convenience store.
all of this going on a busy street that plenty of people travel. It's frightening video of a gun battle on Yale Road that could easily have been deadly.
This surveillance video clearly shows what happened outside Yale Discount Tobacco convenience store on Yale Road, March 7th. Watch the group of teens walk up and approach a red car. Another teen walks to the store and tries to get inside. The doors are locked. Then someone in a black car across the parking lot pulls out a gun and starts firing. The other young people retreat behind the red car and then pull out weapons of their own, and the gunfight begins. Bullets flying across the parking lot and down the street as the group of young men fire and then run away. In a media statement, police say the same.
Now that is a terrifying scene, man. That is such a terrifying scene, man. That's how that fucking grandfather at that McDonald's got fucking killed. If you haven't been watching the show earlier, Ombrito grandfather was killed at a McDonald's when two groups of fucking moon crickets were firing at each other. He was hit by a stray bullet. This is how people get hit by stray bullets. This is horrifying. And to know that none of these motherfucking moon crickets give a shit about anybody or will ever give a shit about anybody that they hit with a bullet.
Discount Tobacco convenience store on Yale Road, March 7th. Watch the group of teens walk up and approach a red car. Another teen walks to the store and tries to get inside. The doors are locked. Then someone in a black car across the parking lot pulls out a gun and starts firing. The other young people retreat behind the red car and then pull out weapons of their own, and the gunfight begins. Bullets flying across the parking lot and down the street as the group of young men fire and then run away. In a media statement, police say the same group had entered the store minutes earlier, armed with handguns, and threatened to assault a person after asking for that person's shoes. They left and came back a second time when this parking lot gun battle broke out. The owner of this convenience store says he's seen the kids before. They live in the area and actually come in the store all the time with guns. It's why he put up this sign saying, "No guns allowed." But he says,
this is what constitutional carry gets you. This is why I was totally against constitutional carry in anywhere where fucking moon crickets live at. Anywhere where there are moon crickets and Republicans, was a big mistake by Republicans. This was a Republican policy that was just a huge mistake. You never put constitutional carry around moon crickets. Okay? This is what you get.
Asking for that person's shoes. They left and came back a second time when this parking lot gun battle broke out. The owner of this convenience store says he's seen the kids before. They live in the area and actually come in the store all the time with guns. It's why he put up this sign saying, "No guns allowed." But he says the sign clearly didn't stop the young men from brandishing their weapons. And take a look. He says one of them was a young boy who appears to be about 10. As far as we know, no one seems to have been hit in the melee. Police say they also have made no arrest. And if you have any information on the Raleigh shooting, call Crime Stoppers at 528-CASH.
Jesus Christ. How the fuck do you police these niggas?
Breaking news tonight, a double shooting injures 2 people, including a woman sitting on the couch watching TV with her 4 young children. Another man in the upstairs apartment was also shot in the head and was critically injured. Monday night, I'm Shari Williams. Rick is off. The big story on Action News tonight is the investigation into that double shooting. The gunfire erupted on the 2600 block of North.
Stray bullets. This is why it's so dangerous, man. Living around mullions and shit. Living around a bunch of fucking mullions that just fire guns indiscriminately.
North Howard Street in the city's Kensington section. According to police, this was a drive-by shooting and 2 people were hit. A 36-year-old woman and a 38-year-old man who were inside separate apartments. Just after 8:30, police responded to multiple 911 calls for a shooting on this block. Now, police say a 36-year-old woman was sitting on the couch in her first floor apartment when 4 bullets entered her home, where 4 children were also inside. They were not injured, but a bullet hit the woman's shoulder. She was taken to the hospital in stable condition. And then police say 4 bullets also entered a second floor apartment where a 38-year-old man and a woman were watching TV. One of those bullets struck the man in the head. Police tell us that he was found unconscious and was rushed to the hospital in critical condition.
Both of these victims were in separate apartments watching television while sitting on a couch when bullets came from outside through their window and drywall, striking both of them. We're getting information from witnesses that this was a drive-by, that the shooter or shooters were in a vehicle, possibly a dark-colored SUV.
Police now sorting through the information, trying to determine if the shooter was firing at the intended targets or if these are innocent victims. Right now.
Jesus Christ, man. Straight bullets everywhere, just flying around.
Now, no one is in custody.
See these bladders.
The urgent search is on for these two people accused of beating someone unconscious in the locker room of a Philadelphia gym. Investigators say the attack was unprovoked. Police just released video of the suspects. This happened, though, nearly a month ago, but the victim was so badly injured, officers are just now getting an opportunity to speak with him. Action News reporter Leland Pender live for us at police headquarters with this story tonight. Leland.
Yeah, Shari, that particular gym is 24 hours, and this happened just after midnight. The victim, a man in his 20s, according to police. The investigation here initially delayed because police had to wait for that man to get out of the hospital and be well enough for a thorough interview. Police say this video shows two suspects fleeing the scene of a crime, an alleged brutal assault inside a locker room at Planet Fitness on West Oregon Avenue in South Philadelphia.
Never expect something like that to happen in a gym bathroom.
The assault occurred on February 19th at 12:20 in the morning. Today, police released these surveillance images of the suspects. South Detectives Commanding Officer Captain Trina Pendleton says the attack was unprovoked and appears to be random.
He was punched several times where he lost consciousness and was transported to the hospital by medic.
Police say the victim was not robbed, and the man says he didn't know his attackers, so a motive is unclear. Surveillance video also shows the men at the front desk shortly before the attack.
These males were not members. They were allowed to go back. So the reason why they were allowed to go back is unknown at this time.
Even though police call this an isolated incident, gym goers say they're alarmed the suspects got in and escaped undetected.
I don't think anything like that should be happening here. This is a place to work out. This isn't a place for that.
It's horrible. Yeah, I mean, you should be able to come and work out and not worry about getting beat up.
Police believe someone in the public should recognize the suspects from the clear surveillance, but investigators are also calling on the pair to turn themselves in.
So it would be in their best interest to come and talk to us.
And I did reach out to Planet Fitness today to find out more about what happened here, like whether any security protocols were not adhered to or there may have been some lapses there. A statement I got in response simply said that Planet Fitness takes member security very seriously and the local franchise group is cooperating with police. Live here outside police headquarters, Leland Pender, Channel 6 Action News. Shari.
Well, surely the video is going to help. Okay, Leland, thank you.
Wow. Wow. Unbelievable. I want to show y'all this story from earlier today. Wow. Right.
More breaking news from overnight. We have learned that a bystander who was shot during a fight between young people at a McDonald's yesterday evening has sadly died from his injuries.
ABC 13's Courtney Carpenter is live for us in downtown with the latest details on the search for the suspects. Courtney.
Yeah, good morning to you, Rita and Brandon. That's the very latest update from the sheriff that sadly a 61-year-old man who just happened to be in that McDonald's restaurant when a fight broke out between young people sadly died at the hospital. The sheriff this morning calling the whole thing senseless. He identified the man as Jorge Arbezia, saying there were several other customers in the restaurant, including children, when this fight broke out. So really just a very scary and sad situation. Happened around 5:30 yesterday evening at the McDonald's on North Fry Road near West Little York over in Northwest Harris County. Investigators say a group of 6 to 7 young people, boys and girls, were inside the restaurant ordering when another group of 2 to 3 young men walked in. They say there was some sort of physical fight between the two groups, and then several shots were fired, they believe, by more than one person. A 25-year-old who the sheriff's office now says was part of the group that was fighting was also shot, but he's expected to be okay. Investigators say this whole thing happened fast.
Appears to be very chaotic. It's very brief, happens quickly, as these things tend to do, especially when bullets start flying. And so, yeah, it happens quickly. I looked at one view. There's many views, I'm sure. And that's what's going to take us the most time is breaking down the video.
Also, in this very latest update from the sheriff, we know that everyone ran off after that shooting, but the sheriff tells us this morning the detectives have found one of the suspect vehicles and have identified several people who were involved in that fight. Now, so far, he says they still have not identified the shooters. So that's what they're working on now. Of course, if you have any information, you're asked to call HCSO Homicide. Reporting live downtown, Courtney Carpenter, ABC 13, Eyewitness News.
Courtney, thank you for that update.
Wow. This shit is sad, man. This shit is horrible, man.
This evening, approximately 5:30 p.m., Harris County Sheriff's Office was dispatched here to the McDonald's, located in the 6100 block of Fry Road in West Harris County. In reference to an in-progress call, caller stated that shots were being fired inside the McDonald's, and there was more than one person injured, at least 2 people. Deputies arrived on scene. They located a 61-year-old Hispanic male inside the McDonald's that had been shot multiple times. There was also a 25-year-old male, Hispanic male, that had gone to a nearby restaurant where ambulances responded to the scene. One of the males was flown by life flight to the medical center, and the other one was taken by car to a hospital in the medical center, taken by ambulance, rather. Deputy investigators, detectives are at the scene. Currently, we're reviewing video, talking to witnesses in an effort to determine what happened. What we've learned so far is that at approximately 5:25, a group of 6 to 7 young black males and females arrived at the McDonald's. They were inside, appeared to be ordering, when a group of 2 to 3 also young black males arrived on scene. They began to physically fight in the McDonald's. At that point, the multiple gunshots were fired. They appeared to be fired by multiple people. There were rounds fired both inside the restaurant and outside in the parking lot. I would say that I would put them between 16 and early 20s. So I don't know if they are minors or
The Minneapolis Neighborhood Safety Department is walking back a proposed violence interrupter contract. This follows charges against 2 of the group's employees in a shooting last week. As Renee Cooper explained, some in the community and city council have been critical of the group's founder.
Violence interrupters, man. They thought they was gonna get that check, man. It's gonna be hell to pay. That's their hustle, man. Pull that check at the last minute. It's about to go down.
Have been critical of the group's founder.
He has been acting this way for a long time. He's a bully. And bullies don't bring safety to the community.
Nobody been bullied. And I'm fighting for Pastor McAfee right now.
Heated debate over whether Salem Inc., a violence interrupter group run by Reverend Jerry McAfee, is fit to receive city funding. It all follows this outburst last month.
I need you to get your fire back for why you ran in the first place and take care of the needs of our people.
McAfee was criticizing a council proposal related to money for groups like his. Some council members say his comments were offensive and violent, all leading to calls to cut the contract with McAfee.
So I don't want to minimize the impact of those comments and the impact that they would have coming from a leader of an organization that is then being solicited to provide services to all community members of our city.
Following those concerns and a shooting involving 2 of McAfee's employees last week, the Office of Community Safety asked council to withdraw proposed violence interrupter contracts hours before the scheduled vote.
We are reviewing events that have occurred since the RFP scoring, so we will not be requesting approval for Salem Inc. at Committee of the Whole on March 25th.
Council members followed suit, voting to send contracts back to city staff, but not without questions.
Concerned that it's being pulled, and we're not saying why it's being pulled. So, like, what am I to expect moving forward about this contract?
Chair Wansley, Councilmember Vita, the short answer I can give you is I'm not sure to all of those questions.
Again, the Office of Community Safety is not saying why they decided to withdraw the proposed Salem Inc. contracts. Council members are now expected to approve or deny funding for 5 other violence interrupter groups next week. In the newsroom, Renee Cooper, 5 Eyewitness News.
And them groups don't do a goddamn thing. They can't do a goddamn thing. Unbelievable.
And Reverend McAfee says he still hasn't been told why his nonprofit had its contract pulled by the city. McAfee says
because you ain't doing shit. Because they've probably been giving you money for a while and you ain't been doing shit. They probably got spies or, whistleblowers and shit. They're coming out saying y'all ain't doing shit. We're walking around in fucking orange shirts every once in a while. Probably throw a fucking picnic or goddamn get a goddamn bouncy house and a grill and fucking call that community outreach every once in a blue moon. Y'all ain't doing shit. It ain't nothing y'all can do. There's nothing y'all can do. I'll give you that. There's nothing you can do.
Been told why his nonprofit had its contract pulled by the city. McAfee says he has no intention of stopping the work his organization 21 Days of Peace does. He says their success over several decades speaks for itself.
What success? Shout out to JL. He says, thanks for reporting what others won't. Yeah, man, we gonna keep the crime news going, man. Crime, man, it's not going down, man. It's on the uptick. It's on the uptick. Trump sucks up. He sucks up so much energy. He's flooding his own right now. So a lot of people are covering that, and I'm very interested in that. I watch those videos about Trump. Trump is such a magnanimous figure that he draws so much attention. But we gonna still cover crime here, man, because crime is still something that's going on, man, in Blakistan. How many people got hit with stray bullets? Those 2 people in Philly in separate apartments tonight. The grandfather in Houston at the McDonald's just minding his fucking business. That's 3 right there. It's probably more. And that's just stray bullets.
Our commitment transcends a dollar. Our commitment is to our people so they can live. We don't have the luxury of sitting back. That's why we're out doing what we're doing for so long.
McAfee has not ruled out legal action against the city, but first wants to hear more about why the contract was pulled. And as we reported earlier, 2 of McAfee's violence interrupters are facing charges related to a shooting last week. McAfee tells us they were off duty at the time. Today, the Hennepin County Attorney's Office charged 35-year-old Kashmir McReynolds and 50-year-old Alvin Watkins Jr. on multiple counts, including reckless discharge of a firearm stemming from a shooting on March 10th. Watkins Jr. is not in custody. According to court documents, a community group gathered at the corner of 36th and Penn just after 9:30 when shots were fired. Officers learned McReynolds had been shot. Investigators say McReynolds and Watkins Jr. returned fire. McReynolds later admitted he never saw the other gunman and was just shooting in the general direction of where he thought the shots were coming from.
All right, Jerry, first off, you came downtown. How come? Why are you here today?
Well, I got a call from Al Flowers saying that Marvina Haynes was down here and Mohammed from Touch defaming my name. And so I figure I'll go down here so rather than them talking to an invisible person, they could say it to my face. And they're not here because both of them know how to reach me. So if you got something to say to me, you can always do it. But that's how cowards normally do.
Yeah, Mo had talked about he got kind of into the gun. We don't go around with guns. We don't go around with wearing our vests. You know, that's not what violence interruption is all about. It seemed to be a direct shot at 21 days.
Mo don't normally go around, period, because you can't ever find any documentation on him. So if you find some documentation on him, you show it to me.
Violence interrupters beefing. I mean, I could expect that. That's actually not as shocking as it sounds. Violence interrupter groups beefing. Especially once the money get low, once the funding dry up for certain ones. Oh yeah. Let's see if we get some people take the pledge, man. Take the pledge. Support the show on this good night, man. Support the show on this night. Take the pledge. Support the channel. Wow. The funding getting low, man. They at each other's throats.
Interruption is all about. It seemed to be a direct shot at 21 days.
Mo don't normally go around, period, because you can't ever find any documentation on him. So if you find some documentation on him, you show it to me. If you ever find much of what they've done, show it to me. But again, that's what Mo has always done. Mo is a snake. Now, here's the real question that we need to examine. When did Mo get out of prison? How soon after getting out was Mo able to get all of these contracts? How does all of this happen so fast? Where did it come from? What was Mo's relationship with Sasha Cotton? How did all of this play out? Folk who live in glass houses should never throw stones. Now, I've been out here for 35 years. Any reports on any of us ever getting hurt?
Until this week.
Exactly. How is it? And this is what I'd say to the police, which is interesting to me, because here's what I learned so far. They shot at them by 30 times. So if you say you saw him, you didn't see the folk who shot at him. So that's my thing. So this is what I would put in Mo's lap. Are you telling me you wish my guy was dead? Is that what you're saying to me? Is that what the city is saying to me? That they would rather have Cash dead than after hours him putting, is that a crime against wearing a vest? Obviously, it seemed like he was extremely wise in wearing a vest. Now, most of us don't have them. And then we don't carry guns either. What you do after work, if you are legal, you're legally bound to do it. And I would double dog dare them to try to deny Kashmir his Second Amendment right. Now, you can debate about the shots, all of that. Here's what you can't deny. You say he was shot at 30 times. You say he was shot twice. You arrested him. So where's the ones who did the shooting? That's my question.
You've got both guys charged now. We just got the Watkins complaint. Does that frustrate you?
The whole thing. I'll say this to anybody. If somebody's shooting at you, What can you legally do to protect yourself? It's one thing if they're running out shooting at people. What do you do if you're serving and you get through and somebody fires at you 30 times? What rights do I have? Or do I just sit there and take it and let them shoot me? That's my question.
They dinged him for being like he's no longer allowed to possess guns because of prior convictions.
And
It's what it
yeah,
says in the complaint.
whatever it says, my question remains the same.
No, I get it.
If somebody shoots trying to kill you, make no mistake about it. You don't shoot at people 30 times to wound them. You shoot them to kill them. So then what then becomes my legal right to response?
Do you think your guys were targeted for being on that corner and doing some good in that neighborhood?
Well, here's what we know. We know we've done good. All of the data shows that. You can go to the 4th precinct. You can get the MSTAT reports. It shows the good that we do. We have no idea who it was. I believe, well, since the police got everything now, then I hope they...
Yeah, he not snitching. See, this is the thing with them. If you either all in or you all out. You not snitching. Y'all know who did that shit. Y'all violence interrupters. If y'all, how can you say we doing all this good in this certain community? We making contacts. We stopping beefs. We know the major players and all the cliques, and we can talk to all the major players and all the cliques to resolve beefs before they get spiral out of control. How can you have all that and yet somebody shoots at one of your violence interrupters 30 times and you don't know who the fuck did it? Because you want some no snitching shit. And that's the code of the streets. And I can kind of understand why they would be on some no snitching shit. Because you don't want to, because they don't want to, they don't want the fucking blowback from whatever the snitching going to get them. But then you're a street organization. You're going by the code of the streets. Unfortunately, you're going by the code of the streets now. And I don't think taxpayers can fund that shit, man.
No, we've done good. All of the data shows that. You can go to the 4th precinct. You can get the MSTAT reports. It shows the good that we do. We have no idea who it was. I believe, well, since the police got everything now, then I hope they got warrants out for those who started it. Because they certainly didn't run out there shooting people. They were responding to what was done to them.
Are you guys going anywhere with this whole thing? Because I got to ask you now about the contract and what happened. Are you guys like, we're out of here? You're
no. Let me try this again. We've been doing this without a quarter for the safety of our people. We don't have the luxury of not trying to help our people live. That's what we do. That's the distinction between us and some of the newcomers. They in it for the money. We've been in it, period. And so we'll keep doing what we're doing.
What about the contract kerfuffle? I mean, they pulled it now.
I have no idea why they pulled it.
Well,
None of
your
that.
outburst. I mean, do you regret
What
that?
No, I don't. What outburst? No, I didn't have an outburst.
What do you call that?
I challenged them. I have no outburst. And here's what they best be careful with that. There was no outburst. I levied some things against them that was truth. Now, if anyone can examine what I said that was false, I'll apologize on your television station. Go get it. And then come back and say, Reverend, you was wrong, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And I'll apologize right here, right now. Nobody's questioning the truth of what I was saying. They didn't like the fact that they got challenged. And guess what? I'm going to challenge you again. I'm not going nowhere. Nowhere. City council people been coming and going for 30-some years. We as a people still got the same problems. Isn't that amazing? Has anyone ever stopped long enough and said, wait a minute, if this man and his people have been out there for 30-some years working on the same stuff, how come things haven't changed? Where's out front them been all this time? 9 people, I think, shot over the weekend. Did you see out front? Did you see touch? None of them. And so isn't it amazing that you want to make the guy who wants everybody to be safe the fall guy? No one defines my reality. No one. I ain't going nowhere. We ain't going nowhere. And everybody's feet will be held to the fire to do the right thing. If you don't do the right thing, I will come see you and make sure you know I'm displeased. Now, we can do it behind closed doors. That's where I prefer to do it. But if you choose to ignore me, then I'll talk to you wherever I need to talk to you at.
Are you going to take part in this meeting at all that's going on right now?
No, I wasn't coming down here in the first place. The only reason I came down here, because I heard some black folk was down here beating me up, and I figured they ought to at least beat me up in my face.
Marvina called you a bully. She said, through tears, she said,
Marvina is a liar. You hear me? Let me tell you why Marvina is a liar. Anyone that will give you a false truth is a lie. Here's what I don't like about Marvina. Marvina was giving a wrong, misinformed narrative on how her brother got arrested. They said that our church put pressure on the police to arrest him. Biggest lie this side of the Pecos. Let me tell you what really happened. At the same time that the gentleman got killed at Jerry's, a day or so earlier, a young girl, I think her name is Sherez Jones, had gotten killed around the corner, and someone else had gotten killed. We called for a men's march against violence.
Look how he just throws it in. Yeah, Terrell Jones got killed around the corner, and then someone else got killed around the corner. If all these people just constantly get, I just don't understand how they justify that they're doing anything. And listen, it's a tough job. I get it. Violence interrupting is a tough job. But what's your evidence that you're doing anything if people just keep getting killed all the fucking time? All the time.
Girl, I think
broad
her name is
daylight.
Sherez Jones had gotten killed around the corner, and someone else had gotten killed. We called for a men's march against violence. We went to every spot where someone got killed at and prayed and went back to the church and dismantled. She been running around telling folk, we put pressure on the police. Tell her to give you the information. Matter of fact, I challenge you, WCCO and Channel 9, get all of the information and set them in front of me, and let's see who's lying. That's my challenge. Let's see who's telling the truth. But if we really want truth, bully, Marvina don't know nothing about me. What Marvina and them don't like is their bully tactics don't work on me. You all like to, just like out front, you guys are accustomed to attacking people. But then when you get it back in spades, you want to cry foul. I'm saying no. I say again, I challenge any one of them. Get in front of me, bring all that information. If you ain't got no information, you just talking loud, ain't saying nothing. Period. Let's do it. No, I'm good.
You know, one of the things, this is what is tragic in this whole thing. None of these organizations that they are speaking about do the work that we do. This model that they're talking about, right upstairs, right now, pure violence,
come from us.
Look, if we the one that
all these old gangsters, man. All these old ass gangsters
that created that whole model. The whole model, but they have yet to implement everything within the model. That's why you're not going to have individuals walking up and around the street to alleviate the violence that exists on the streets of Minneapolis. We are out there every day. We have developed relationships with individuals out there every day. Individuals don't shoot at you because you're not being effective. They shoot at you because you are being effective, and they don't want you to hinder what they're doing. We have been really effective. Individuals within the community know our work because we're out there. We develop networks. We try to help everybody in young people, old people, everybody.
Do you guys worry about the optics outside? I get the neighborhood needs you, wants you on the barbecues, whatever. But they see a gunfight between violence interrupters.
No. They didn't see a gunfight between violence interrupters.
Not between.
Here's what people see who got common sense. Somebody just fired 30 rounds at you. So you either gonna retaliate or not. See, only hypocrites are the ones who will say, oh, they shot back. So you mean to tell me you wouldn't have shot back? I tell you what, go do a survey of 80% of white folk who may have a gun and ask them if somebody shoot at them 30 times, will they fire back?
That took a while, but they finally got there. It took a while. They finally got there.
Self-defense law this week, this individual who we're talking about has a right to carry. He has a security company that's licensed
and legal.
And every gun, every weapon is legal. So it's not interrupters fight, shooting back at each other.
Yeah, and they was trying to kill him. So that's the question I raised.
And
you're gonna try to kill him and then say, "Oh, don't shoot back at me."
And I just want to say, like, I get it. The complaint says he's a felon. He's not allowed to carry, and it says he doesn't have a security ID.
You don't get a right to carry. You don't get a right to carry with a felon. You don't get it anywhere in the United States of America. You don't get it. You don't get your license for security company
not true.
with a felon. You don't get it. You don't get it.
I'm just saying what I know. I'm not debating it. I just want you to know what
we ain't going nowhere. They can say whatever they want to say. We're gonna keep on working. Here's another thing that's interesting. The young lady's life that was saved on Monday.
DOD.
Yeah. Nobody mentions that. But ain't it something that you fighting for your own life as you gave life? And I'll say this, and I'm really through. The most despicable thing to me. Marvina is Marvina. Mohammed, that's sad. You are lower than anything I could ever imagine. And that ain't the first time you done it to us. You were just rotten. Coward.
And when you think about litigation to get that contract back, just given that you want it?
I tell you, stay tuned.
Okay, man.
For the beautiful.
It's cracking out there, man, in Minneapolis, man. It's cracking. Oh, man. What a day. Great show, guys, man. Salute to everybody, man. We gonna get up out of here, man. See you guys tomorrow, man. I'm sure the Blakistanians will give us enough to talk about. All fresh stories. Same black time. Same black channel. Out of here. Subscribe.